Okay, hi. It's Sharon from A Day in the Life. We've got Zoe and Maddie back here too. So, we are going to a mission discovery weekend, which is part of the SendMeNow missions process. And so we're gonna go find out about our trip. Mackenzie's with us as well, and so is Hannah.
Hi.
So we do this through our Baptist Collegiate Ministries, and the way it works is you apply to get on one of the mission teams. And so this very first weekend, we've gotten through the application process, and now we're in the process of being assigned a trip. So we have the ability to pick which ones we want to do, so because they give us a list, but ultimately it's not our decision. So what part of the weekend is we're gonna have a team that we're put on with a campus minister and a bunch of other people who are going through the process as well, and they won't be from our university. So we're all in different groups. Like I'm in group 3, Mackenzie's in group 10.
Yeah.
I don't know what groups those two are in.
Hey, what group are y'all in? 9.
9?
We're buddies.
It's really cool, and so what we thought we'd do for this video is we kind of talk about what opportunities we're looking at, and we'll just let you know the process and how it all turns out.
And how stressed we get. Woohoo! We're gonna pray about it, so we aren't gonna be too stressed.
Much prayer.
Much prayer
To be had. All right. See ya when Mackenzie won't die while driving. Because safety first. So personally, I'm hoping to get an internship this summer, so it kind of limits how long I can be there. So I was hoping to get a trip in May, and right now there are only 2 trips that are just in May, so I'm a little nervous because that means I need to come up with a third idea, an option, and if Jesus tells me to go there, then I guess I'm not having an internship.
You have to write down 3 trip options.
So I have to give them at least 3 places I'm willing to go, and that makes me really nervous. But so right now, the 2 options that I know I'm going to put down is, the first one is the one that scares me the most, and that one is called the Forgotten 50, and it's where a team goes to Canada and to different universities that haven't heard about the gospel, or have had the least contact. So that one is a pure evangelistic trip, which terrifies me a lot. The second one is disaster relief, which I really love disaster relief. I've had a heart for it since I did it last year, and so I'm pretty excited about that and the potential for that. But I need a third trip, so thankfully though, the weekend helps you kind of look at other ideas and you learn more about yourself, so hopefully it'll be more clear later what my third trip should be.
So number 1 on my list is to Uganda to teach English as a second language, which I'm freaking out about because I just spent 6 months getting a certification for that specific thing. So I'm super excited to get to do it, and I hope I get that trip. I really hope I get that trip. And I know that Uganda will be uncomfortable, but that just makes it more exciting. I'm gonna broaden my horizons and get better at everything. Teacher thing to say. I'm so excited. And number 2.
The imagination hands and everything.
Yeah, I know. Broaden my horizons. Yes. And number 2 on my list is Alaska. A whole summer in Alaska. So y'all will learn about me very quickly that I have a very healthy obsession with Alaska. I've gone
Very healthy.
4 times. And it's amazing. And if you know anything about Alaska, you know how amazing it is.
Ooh.
And so if I get that trip, I think I might pee myself for a week. I will be so excited, y'all. Wow. We're hoping for one of those 2. I will be equally as happy for either of those. Oh my gosh, I'd be so excited. I don't really have a third option.
I want to pick, okay. So my top 2 choices are Alaska and Hawaii. Real stressed about the Hawaii situation just because I got to figure out how I'm going to get there. Can't swim, so I can swim. That was supposed to be a joke, but you looked scared. So I was actually laughing.
Okay, so
anyway.
for y'all's information, anything that's a paid internship, we have to provide our own transportation. So the Hawaii trip is one that is a paid internship, so she would have to pay for her own plane ticket.
Which would be a pricey one, for sure.
Especially
Especially in the summer.
Yes.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but so yeah, I'll have to figure out that one if that one is the one I end up getting. Otherwise, Alaska, just super excited because You need to chill.
I can't. I love Alaska.
I would just be so excited because it is similar to like a camp thing that I've done before, just kind of like going around and doing pretty much whatever needs to be done. So that is something that I'm definitely more familiar with and would feel probably a little more comfortable with, but just, you know, in Alaska, so that would be cool. I'm probably going to have a fourth as well, but the third is probably going to be Uganda, just because I have taught English before, in a school setting at least, like on mission, complete opposite side of the planet. So, however you look at that, really long plane ride. But anyway, I've done something like that, so again, it's something I'm familiar with, just in a completely different country with probably a little less comfort than the last one, which is saying something. Sleeping on plywood. And then my fourth would probably be the California trip, just getting to go evangelize people and like talk to them, because I obviously don't have a problem talking, so might as well make it about Jesus.
So I'm thinking about the top choice is the Hawaii trip, like Zoe. I've done food service a lot, customer service. It seems like a good fit for me. So, and then the other two choices are just some camps that I love working with kids. So why not?
All right.
I'm going to be driving and talking at the same time, so I'm not going to be looking at the camera.
Yep.
Because that would be hazardous. So my situation's a little bit complicated too, because I'm going to be doing a study abroad trip, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm going to be doing a study abroad trip from like the end of May into like the end of June, and so really I only have like July, August to be able to do a SendMeNow trip. That really limits the choices that I have. My number one is probably, they have a Southern Europe summer staff trip, which I kind of find ironic because I'm going to Spain, and Spain is considered part of Southern Europe, so if I end up in Spain twice in a row, I just think that would be absolutely hilarious.
Just make Spain your new home.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to go there. So that's kind of my number one choice, just because for the longest time it was the only one that was on the trip option list that fit in with my time frame. So it was the one that I've started thinking about and praying about first. And I think that it would be a really, really great opportunity to be able to do something like that. The other trip option is another one to Southern Europe, because it's just in the month of July as well. And then there's a Vermont church planning trip that they have, and that's probably, I would say the Vermont trip is my second option, and then the other Southern Europe one is my third option. I would like to be able to be on that trip. Stephanie actually went on the Vermont church planning trip last year as part of SendMeNow. Had a lot of great things to say about it. They visited some college campuses and got to talk with some students too, which is really kind of where I love to be, and just being able to share the gospel with college students. So that's another one that I'm definitely considering right now, but we'll see what happens.
I'll check back in with you guys, or we'll let you check back in with us once we've gotten more into the weekend and see if anything has changed. Any of our opinions have changed, because sometimes it happens. They convinced me that I should work with middle schoolers last year. I didn't, but they convinced me. So, we'll see y'all later. Hey y'all, so it's been a little bit since I filmed the video on SendMeNow weekend. It's actually the next weekend, so it's been a good bit of time. We didn't really have much time over the weekend to talk and record. So one of the things I've decided to do is kind of ask everybody to make their own follow-up video, and that'll help because these ended up being very long videos. So at the bottom in the description section, I'm going to include a link to all of the partner videos we have for this video, including my own, where I talk about just kind of what I went through this weekend and some of the things I learned. Because a lot happened, and I want to tell you guys about it. Alright. Alright. The children dying back there.
No, it's yours.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain why we're losing our minds?
So she started talking about that she sang the Canadian anthem, but realized it was just the Genovian anthem from that movie, you know?
The Princess Diaries. Don't be so disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful.
I know at least
I love that.
Just whenever they say the name
Second one's
over
the
and over
best.
again. Genovia.
Yeah.
No.
So so good.
Yeah, that's the only words I know. Just Genovia, Genovia.
Why are there people walking in the middle of the street? What's your problem?
They don't got no fear.
Yeah, that's right.
I got fear for them.